just been so moved by all of you. I feel the vulnerability of everyone. It's been incredibly unsafe. And again, I can do unsafe. I have the resources and capability. I can be in wars. I can be in diasporas. I'm also Armenian, and I have been through that generationally. So I know what it's like to be on the road with my people. I know what it's like to defend the vulnerable and the helpless. And so the safety. I'm also a therapist, so I've been sitting with my clients in all kinds of varieties of experiences, from Trump supporters, and I have a fair number of those, who were a little ambivalent about telling me about it because they figured where I was, but then when they saw that there was tons of space for that, they told me all about it. So sitting with that and holding that with love and care and appreciation, and understanding where they're coming from, and that it's hard for them to come out this way. It's like coming out with something that they are afraid is going to be met with repudiation or even condemnation from me. And when it doesn't, they're unfurling it. And I suppose it's like telling a dirty little secret. Do you know? It's like they know that there's this whole other side of it, and they have their reasons for this. But also with the women, and just the irony of the women really tipping the balance for Trump. That's what happened. I don't know if you've heard the demographics. Women tipped the balance for Trump. He got more white women than Romney. And that just... Yeah, and there's been some excellent talk about that tonight. Stockholm Syndrome, sure. Identifying with the aggressor or perpetrator, absolutely. And the last thing is that my Pakistani Muslim buddy at the gym, who's terrified, a lovely, lovely, lovely man, and this brought up all my guardian insanity, and I was talking with him and my African friend, a black African woman, and they're both vulnerable and both scared shitless. My buddy said, the Pakistani, he said, there was 9/11. He said, I was here for that. This was yesterday. He said, today's 11/9. It's 11/9. We're going to remember 9/11 forever, and we're going to remember 11/9. When we woke up, most of us, I stood up and watched it, most of us woke up. So, yeah.
I've shied away from leadership a lot in my life. It was offered to me from a young age. And it was fine when I was playing the wise grandma, or the angel know-it-all. I have been fighting for my authority my whole life. By God, I've got it now, and nobody can take it away. And that's what we need. That's what we women are so screwed. And the worst thing about it is the men are just as screwed, because the men are slaves to all this crap that we've been hearing for a year and a half. To get out of that is really, boy, I don't know who I feel worse for. But I do know if we don't get a better feminine sense of authority that feeds and clothes and houses and embraces people everywhere, that we're screwed permanently. We really are. It's like, take your pick. What do you want to fight for? There's a geyser of fire inside of me. I'm so goddamn mad we didn't get a chance to find out what she could do. And I can hardly wait till the woman comes along who can kind of put together in a less complicated way everything that she had going for her. God, I hope I live long enough to see that. And I hope you guys do too. Thank you.
Well, you didn't let me down. I'm feeling a little, I was just thinking, a little more fire in the belly. I haven't really been able to digest anything. It was crazy and fantastic to me to hear that Leonard Cohen had died on Election Day. He's been my friend in the dark for a long time. And I didn't feel like I have not for a moment felt like I was, oh, Leonard's gone. Because Leonard's always been down in that place. He's so at home, Dad. So his new album, I don't know if you've listened to it, the new one, this has really been something. So I guess I brought this with me too, I got to admit, because I'm really looking at this. As you've been saying, something's changing, something big has happened. And it's thrown all of us, people, I think everyone in this room, up against a wall. I had one revelation. I sat this last Sunday, my partner's a priest, and we have a group once a month and go into the Zendo, and they sit and do meditation for half a day. And in the first period of meditation, I just cried. And in the second one, I had a revelation. If this administration is going to take us back 55 years, we get to do the 60s again. And maybe better this time. That's got me up a few times. And Facebook's actually been good. I can't look at the news either. I can't. I had my son had set my opening page for my browser to the front page of the New York Times, and I called him up and I said, "How do I get rid of this?" I get the New York Times every day, and I'm like walking around, kind of going, no, because I do feel so physically like I have to take care of myself. I've got to take care of my body. It's really, really been hard. Thank you all for your presence and your good hearts and your good work, important work, and thank you for taking care of yourself in whatever way that you need to. And for staying steady and strong and grounded to the extent possible. And for being here and being you. Thank you. Thank you.
It's been amazing listening to all of you. It's making me think one of our greatest, I think, accomplishments could get all of our voices on a tape or something that really we take seriously historically and even as mentors.
I was thinking about activism. And one of the things I know for sure, I've not been in the 60s, I did some activist work, not much. I'm not a political activist. What I am is an inner activist. And now, as I'm feeling this inner activism, which means that I know that my hugest, for me, from my perspective, my hugest responsibility on earth right now is to clear out all the garbage within me. That's my number one job. And the more I can clear that out and allow space for the positive, for what's real. I mean, Trump, in the big picture, is a sad little boy. And I don't think he even wants this big toy to play with, but he got it. And he's a sad, and so it's for me, it's my inner activism is I am not allowing anybody, to the extent that I can, not allowing anybody or anything to be in the way of who I'm supposed to be on this planet now. And screw them all.
The disparity between the rich and poor is the greatest problem on earth, period. That's it. Everything else derives from that. This wouldn't have happened without that. There are single issue Trump supporters, right? Second Amendment, abortion, taxes, hatred of Hillary. Those are single issue Trump supporters. But the main movement is all about people that have been left behind, you've heard it so many times, by the economy, that don't make as much money as we do. So I have empathy for them. I really do. I don't think their voice was channeled in the right direction with this, of course, but it's a problem, the disparity between the rich and the poor. If we don't solve it, we're heading for calamity. Calamity everywhere. That's why the immigration issue is an issue, right? Immigration's tied to people not having enough. Otherwise, of course, bring everybody. The only reason people get up in arms about immigration is because they don't have enough. I mean, generally, the core of it. There's also racism and all kinds of other things. Anyway, we got work to do. Not just in America, but on Earth. We got work to do, and we got to get global. I mean, I really want this to be an opportunity for us to see what's going on globally. 800 million people every night hungry. 800 million, and we're okay with that. We don't stop everything and say, hold on, we're going to make sure that we get everybody fed. It's a global issue, and I don't know what we're going to do. That can't be okay. We're spiritually sick because that's going on Earth. Because we're all connected, right? We're spiritually sick. And when we have enough and we have that angst in our lives, like what am I going to do with my life? It's not about mission in life or the right partner or whatever. It's the fact that we're tied into each other and that we can't sleep well knowing that 800 million of us. I mean, that's staggering, right? 2.5 times the population of the U.S. And those aren't the people that are scrapping for $1 a day or $1 a month or whatever and just barely get enough to eat, right? That's like 3 or 4 billion. It's unbelievably unfair. And our asses need to be kicked into some kind of action about that. I mean, we need to get going on Earth. Anyway, thank you. I'm pissed off. I really am. I've got to fix it. All right.
So no matter what happens over this time, what I want to encourage everybody to do is to find their authority, the truth of that, to look for the truth of the being that we each have, that naturally is for the good, and not to turn away from it. Not to turn away from it. Not for a second. It's the most important thing we can do, because then fear doesn't guide us, and anger is righteously fierce for the right thing.